Let's take a look at the Poisson distribution. I'm in the menu item right now. I'm in statistics. From here we see distribution is under F5. I don't see Poisson, so I'll press F6, and Poisson is under F1. I got Poisson PDF and CDF, and also the inverse Poisson. This is a very powerful button. The inverse, you can actually calculate backwards. We're going to go with Poisson PDF, the probability of finding one event. So we're going to start with the variable. We're saying, let's say for example, the Poisson works based on the average number of events occurring in a given amount of time. Let's say we're looking at a World Cup match, and the average World Cup match scores 2.5 goals. We're looking for an event where 9 goals are scored when the average is 2.5. And this is based on the variables. The results, we're not going to save the results. We can actually save the results into list number 1, but we're not going to save the results. We're just going to see them on the screen. So we're going to go ahead and calculate. So here's a probability of a given random World Cup soccer match scoring 9 goals in one game. So this is 9 goals out of 2.5 possible is the average. Let's take a look at the list, but before we go to the list, I'm going to exit out, and my list has the numbers 0 through 10 listed, and I'm going to go ahead and delete what's in list number 2, so we'll delete that. This time I'm going to go back and go into my Poisson distribution, and I'm going to calculate the Poisson PDF using the list values. In list number 1, this is going to calculate anywhere from 0 all the way up to 10 goals when the average is 2.5, and we're going to save the results in list 2. Now we'll go ahead and calculate those. Here are the probabilities of those events. This is 0. It looks like 1, so let's go to the list. Probability of seeing no goals scored, 1, 2, 3, all the way up through 10. We're going to go ahead and take another look at a different part of the distribution, the Poisson CDF. This is the cumulative distribution function. If you use the list values, this is the lower part of the list, this is the upper part of the list. If you got lower and upper values, it will find the probability between those two. We're just going to go with the variables because we don't have a list 3. You'll notice the lower and upper command here. Lower 0 goals to 3 goals, given that 2.5 goals are scored on average in a random World Cup match. And the results we are not going to save, so we're going to say none, and we'll go ahead and execute that calculation. So that probability is 0.7575. If we take a look at the list, go back up and do 1, 2, and 3 combined, or 0 through 3, we see that that probability is your 0.7575. So now we're going to keep that in mind when we take a look at the inverse Poisson. Since we know 0.75 for the probability, so that's we want to find the area to the left, so 0.75 or lower. We're going to go ahead and calculate, so we'll execute this calculation, and it says 3. We want to go over the 0.75. So this time we'll go from 7.578 and see if I get a warning. Here's a warning that tells you the tolerance of the calculation. It's going to give me an answer of, should be about 4, but the area is off by a little bit. That's what this means. So it's giving me a warning that it might give me an answer of 3, but it could also be 4. So it says the answer is 4, but it could have been a 3 because it's not really sure. The calculation is so close, it's within the warning value of the tolerance of the calculator. So that's what that calculation means. So there you have the Poisson distribution a couple of different ways.